Be prepared for this one. I'm warning you right now. Trigger warning. Lo último se ha descubierto que el youtuber estadounidense Nicholas Light instó a su decenas de miles de seguidores al calificar masivamente con 1 out of 10 los episodios recientes de la tercera temporada de One Punch Man en la plataforma IMDB. Este llamado a review bombing boicot de reseñas explicaría en parte por qué el anime ha roto récords de baja puntuación recientemente. Aunque la producción ha tenido críticas legítimas, esta campaña organizada distorsiona la recepción real de la obra. Oh, what did they say? I don't know what I just said. Breaking! It has been discovered that American YouTuber Nicholas Light urged his tens of thousands of followers to mass rate the recent episodes of the third season of One Punch Man with 1 out of 10 on the IMDb platform. Ladies and gentlemen, is this true? Chat, do you guys know if this is true or not? Because I haven't been keeping up ever since, you know, Nicholas painted his face blue. Has he done a call to action to rally and brigade the IMDb to make it 1 out of 10? Yes or no? Do you guys know? Yes or no? Because I don't want to do any little guessing assumption. You don't think so? No, I mean, yeah. Why is it so conflicted? Why you guys fucking split up? No, I understand. I understand. We're going to read a Nicholas Light tweet. I just want to see. Have you guys seen it? Have you guys seen a call to action directly saying, rate this shit 1 out of 10? I don't care if it was a hyperbole or a sarcasm or irony, because at the end of the day, remember, it doesn't matter what your intent is. What I care about is the outcome. So let's just go in with the assumption that, all right, he did do it. Sure, okay, maybe it's not true, but maybe he urged his fans to do so. If he urged the fans to do so for this, I mean, this is kind of like an absolute position you can't really argue out of, but there is some context for sure. We'll read that. This call to review bombing, review boycott, would partly explain why the anime has recently broken records for low ratings. So again, very careful wording, right? If you were to condemn Nicholas Light's fan base as why the records have been broken, then I would say no. But this guy, this Fuji News, carefully kind of, again, we're playing a game here. This is Classroom of the Elite. I'm not here to crucify Nick. We're here to play a game. This is Classroom of the Elite where people have masks on and they're trying to carefully navigate around to say things that has plausible deniability. You know what I mean? So when you say partly, okay, I think that for sure he has attributed, but how significant was that partly, right? Because just because, okay, let's say 99 people fucking did something and then one person did something after that. Maybe it tipped the fucking meter over, but like you can't say that was like a significant impact. So you need to be aware of how significant were the contributions relating to context. I think that this is quite disingenuous to say, obviously, that it's his fault only, but partly explain why. The anime has been recently broken record for low ratings. Although the production has received legitimate criticism, this organized campaign discourse the truth receptions of the work. There it is, bro. And I love how they circle YouTuber. Nicholas Light has gone international. Yep. Nicholas Light is fucking Pitbull now, bro. We going fucking hotel, motel, Holiday Inn, bro. Nicholas Light needs to fucking change himself like this. Enough blue, bro. Bro is on fucking Spanish television. I don't know if this is Spanish television, but Fuji TV. And what is this, right? This is a account that covers anime related stuff to a Spanish audience and has 71k followers. All right. I don't know how reputable they are, but that's kind of what's going on, right? And let's read some of the comments, right? Well, first of all, let's read Nicholas Light's comment. They're blaming me for the review bomb now. Meanwhile, the episode was a 1.5 before I made a video about the ratings. So I'm going to assume that this is kind of like when the call to action was said to basically say, fuck this episode, it's garbage, let's get it lower, right? So if it already was 1.5 without him, And who knows how many rating numbers there actually was, the magnitude. I understand that Nicholas Light gets a lot of viewership, but to mobilize that many people to brigade the polls, I don't think it would have a significant difference, honestly. I think that obviously it's going to help, but to condemn him for the shitty ratings, I don't think so. These websites that report anime news are mostly shills for the industry, probably. Blaming a YouTuber instead of this worthless adaptation, the comments are even calling them out. Great journalism there, retards. And that's the thing, right? You go in trying to slander a YouTuber about this in such a precocious way where, again, the translation, yeah, you can kind of argue about it, but it honestly kind of like doesn't help when you pour oil onto the fire, blaming a YouTuber for this when your numbers aren't even that correct. So let's look at some of the ratings here, right? God damn. So this is IMDB, and I think that obviously Motley Heroes, yeah, 19,000 ratings, right? For sure, 1.4 out of 10. Do you guys think that this number is actually accurate though, right? Do you guys genuinely think that like this episode deserves 1.4 out of 10? I think that it's a bad episode. But again, I think that obviously, no matter how bad it is, this is getting brigaded to the next point because it's part of a movement. People want to feel involved. They want to be part of something. They're upset, as they righteously should be. Now they're going to meme on it, clown on it, and shit on it, and review bomb it, even though it's actually not 1.4. Maybe it's a fucking 3 point something. But honestly, again, once you fall below 5 out of 10 for me, it's all the same fucking garbage. To sift through and try to somehow categorize, quantify why this is more shittier between a 2 out of 10 and a 1 out of 10, I think is unproductive and it's a waste of time. So yes, it's a garbage episode, but it's getting taken ridiculously out of context, as you can see by the number of the votes. 7 points say it kind of averages around 7,000 to 8,000 votes. To have something show up 19K, it truly tells you that people were really fucking mad. People were really fucking mad, and they're going to brigade it out of their frustrations. It makes sense. Did Nicholas Light have a call to action that actually attributed all to here? That's something that I can't really tell, right? Because 19,000 is quite a big number, but it's actually not if you think about the scale of viewership that Nicholas Light gets and the audience that he can mobilize. I think that he did have an impact on it, but how significant, we'll never really know. But to single out again Nicholas Light, it's gonna keep happening to him. And I think that he probably enjoys it because obviously he can make more content out of it, right? How many times have I been saying that when you become the face of the campaign of this, you know, hate for One Punch Man, no matter how justified you are, people will again shit on you just as hard as they shit on One Punch Man, right? How many times have I given you the example of Nicholas Light's behavior and the way that he presents his content creates a bigger target on his back, and people will shit on him even harder, even though it might have not been that bad. People won't give him the benefit of the doubt because of who he is and what he's been involved in, and something mediocre that may not be that flagrant, people will condemn him even harder. Just like One Punch Man, something trivial happens where some sort of animation error happens with the 6 fingers that you see in many different animes and studios, but people will shit on it, call it AI, and treat it way harsher. That's why it's so important to be able to kill the emotions and see something objectively before getting wrapped up in, oh, this person said it, therefore it must be bad. Fuji News, I believe, is getting cooked though. Let's read some of the comments. The episode had low ratings anyway because Bandy kill. JC staff for not taking accountability for the mess of the season is embarrassing, instead of blaming a YouTuber whose opinion of what most people are saying and thinking this season. And you know what? Richie Davis 44, even if you disagree with them, I feel like this is the public sentiment right now. You can call them retards, you can say uneducated, but again, being mad at the masses for their casual opinion is very reductive. It's unproductive. You need to understand, why do they feel like that? How did they get here to actually enact change? From episode 1 to 6, where is his work? Wouldn't it be more obvious to call him a work destroyer? They always complain that pirate sites and the main reason for the decline in revenues of anime production companies, but the truth is the reason production is so terrible is that the censorship is something's not needed. I don't know what you're fucking talking about, but I think that we can circle back to that video where, remember this one? Who remembers this video, right? And again, this is all Classroom of the Elite. Everything that we're doing is playing a game of people very carefully navigating to see how they can sing better than others. And in this video, what did I say? Nuclear drama. One Punch Man animator spoke out, this is a fucking mistake. And I give the animator the benefit of the doubt and say, this is a bad idea to not differentiate between the actual grifters, the bad faith actors, from the actual fans that are watching it legally. Even if they're not watching it legally, criticism is criticism. It's not all just hate. Once you couple it together, you fucked up. This is a poor messaging. I understand your sentiment, but when you do this, you give ammo, right? You have now lost this match in Classroom of the Elites. You have given ammo to the other side. They will take this and now they will use this as armor and justify their shitty positions even harder. So when we come back to this, now people are going to be bringing up, you know, Pirate Society. See, these animators, they're a bunch of fucking losers. They don't want to take accountability. They want to blame the harmless international fans who may be even watching the Muse Asia. This is unfair. What I just said are words that are going to be propagated by many different comments in Twitter, YouTube section. Because why? Because you fucked up with this statement, didn't think about it, and you set out and gave ammo. You need to play the game better. This is a terrible blunder, even though I understand the sentiment. And here's the thing, right? He later corrected himself though. It doesn't matter. How many times do creators get called out, canceled off of headlines on Twitter threads, Reddit posts, and then there's actual context? Oh, it actually wasn't that. It's actually this instead. But the masses don't care. People care about the first thing that they see and make up their mind. They don't even read the article. They've already convinced in their heads what the reality is. And when context comes out, they will not read it. They will never acknowledge it. That's why your intent doesn't matter. The only thing that matters in the game of Classroom of the Elite is the outcome. And when you fuck up, even if you make a statement correcting yourself, ain't nobody gonna take you seriously. They've already took this. This is a bullet you've given them, then they'll fucking drag that shit out. That's why I say, when tensions are high, you gotta be so careful. You have to be so careful in the way that you present your words, because they will be stretched, misrepresented, and utilized for other sides where they're trying to farm this shit, man. You gotta be careful with this shit. I don't think he initially called out to happen, but he definitely egged it on and actually asked to run it back with episode 7, but I don't think he was the catalyst. Could be wrong. Yeah, I think that Nick, as usual, is getting blamed for this situation because he is, again, the face of the hate campaign, because he is inserting himself into everything and everything. And now Fuji News is going to gaslight him about that. Again, what do you think is really going on? Do you really think that this is all Nicholas Light's fault? It could be. It could not be. But I think that at the end of the day, the truth doesn't really matter because people have already made up their mind. It's a court of public opinion, right? In the real world, the objective truth doesn't matter. It's what people want to believe and the narratives that spun out. So think for yourself before you get riled up off of headlines, man. Because if you make a mistake off of your emotions, it may give the other side even more fucking ammunition and your life becomes worse. So just laugh about it. Treat this like a fucking reality TV drama, bro. None of this shit matters. Laugh about it, move on.